The villain from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is coming to Netflix in her own series called Ratched. We're here to give you the lowdown on this electric new show, from who's playing the infamous nurse to the talent behind the camera. So where and when can you watch Ratched? The show is coming to Netflix, and from the sound of things, there's already a multi-season arc planned out. Netflix reportedly signed the show up for 2 seasons right out of the gate, and star Sarah Paulson has revealed plans for at least 4 seasons, saying in 2019, "Ideally, by the time we're in season 4, we're in that story of the Cuckoo's Nest." When will the series hit the streaming service? The first season is set to debut on September 18, 2020. Like all Netflix series, Ratched will be released in its entirety on that day, giving you 8 episodes to watch if you want to binge the whole thing on day 1.
Gentlemen, stop this! Stop this immediately!
If you're keeping score, the novel One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was released in 1962, and the film version was released in 1975. Really, it's about time we added something new to this classic tale of conformity and individualism. Nurse Ratched is one of the most iconic film villains of all time, so it goes without saying that a powerhouse actor is needed to take on the role. In the 1975 film, Louise Fletcher was that actress. Fletcher actually won the only Oscar of her storied career for playing the uncaring nurse. Luckily, the Ratched series has a pretty strong successor to Fletcher in the lead role, Sarah Paulson. Paulson is probably best known for her work in the American Horror Story and American Crime Story anthology series, for which she has won numerous awards. But she has plenty of other strong work on her resume. Highlights include Glass, 12 Years a Slave, Bird Box, and Miss America. Paulson excels at portraying complex characters, to the point that she seems to have astonishingly few limits to her talent. Suburban mom with an illegal side hustle? She's got it covered in Ocean's 8. Marcia Clark, lead prosecutor in the infamous O.J. Simpson murder case? She'll win an Emmy and hit the red carpet with the very woman she portrays. Anyone who's seen Paulson in action knows that she will nail the role of Nurse Ratched with aplomb and bring the character to life for a whole new generation of fans.
What are you gonna do about it? What, are you deaf?
No. Just thinking of all the things I'm going to do about it.
Sarah Paulson isn't the only actor to get excited about in Ratched. She'll be accompanied by a sparkling mix of big names and up-and-coming talents, including Sharon Stone, Judy Davis, Vincent D'Onofrio, Cynthia Nixon, and Rosanna Arquette. Besides those major names, there are a few other familiar faces you might notice in Ratched. Alfred Rubin Thomas is listed as appearing in over a dozen episodes as Albert Allison. You might recognize him from Sons of Anarchy. Hunter Parrish from Weeds, Amanda Plummer from Pulp Fiction, and Corey Stoll of Ant-Man are a few other actors who might catch your eye. If you're unfamiliar with the finer points of Nurse Ratched's character, here's a primer. She's the antagonist of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, the head nurse of a mental ward where she rules with ironclad authority. Nurse Ratched is an expert in psychological manipulation, knowing just what buttons to push to keep her charges cowed. That changes when brash, uncontrollable McMurphy is admitted to the ward and promptly starts a war for control with Nurse Ratched. The results of this conflict are calamitous for everyone involved. Most horrifically, Ratched's manipulation of one patient's anxieties pushes him to take his own life. Netflix's Ratched will be a prequel story that begins in 1947, following Mildred Ratched as she moves from job to job, presumably leaving ruin and terror in her wake. As Paulson hinted, by the series' end, the story may sync up with that of the 1975 classic. Surprisingly, Ratched seems to have little to do with its famous source material, beyond its focus on the novel and movie's iconic villain. A look through the character list does not indicate any familiar characters from the novel or movie. At this point, it doesn't look like we'll see Harding, Billy, Chief Bromden, or anyone else from the ward on the show, though they may be included in future seasons. Executive producer Ryan Murphy has also indicated an intention to produce 4 seasons of Ratched. As he told Slash Film, he plans for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest McMurphy to show up as an adversary in the 4th season. If you're familiar with the events of the book or the iconic Jack Nicholson performance, you know what's in store. One other way Ratched is tied to Cuckoo's Nest comes from Michael Douglas, who is a producer on the series. He produced the 1975 film as well, and Ryan Murphy has said that Douglas is heavily involved in many aspects of the series, including casting, and his involvement likely bodes well for fans of the original film. One of the major reasons we're so pumped for Ratched is the impressive slate of people helping bring it to life. Ryan Murphy, co-creator, executive producer, and one of the directors of the show, comes to mind immediately in this regard. His impressive success with series like American Horror Story, Glee, Scream Queens, and Hollywood all point towards another slam dunk series. Murphy himself would direct the first 2 episodes, then hand things off to Nelson Cragg, who has worked as a director and cinematographer on other Murphy series like Pose and American Crime Story. Michael Uppendahl, Jennifer Lynch, Daniel Minahan, and Jessica Yu will all get a crack at later episodes of Ratched. with Uppendahl being the only other director besides Murphy slated to handle 2 episodes. Daniel Minahan, who has directed episodes of series including Hollywood and Game of Thrones, will direct the Season 1 finale. In short, the people in charge of Ratched have a lot of experience with the sort of show it appears to be: experimental, visually distinct, and boundary-pushing. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about new shows on Netflix are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.